I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to basically say thank you to everyone that's joining us right now. Say hello and welcome to the Workwell September Virtual Lunch and Learn. We are so happy that you all have joined us today for what we hope will be an informative presentation featuring CFISD, Scifire ISD. Just a real quick introduction. For those who don't know me, my name is Miranda Stewart. I'm the general manager here at the Workwell. We also have William Hatfield, our community manager. He's going to be helping me co-host today's event. So with all that being said, I'd love to introduce our speaker for today's webinar. We have Bevan Gordon. She is the Director of Marketing and Business Relations for the Cypress Fairbanks Independent School District. A little about Bevan. She has served in CFISD for nearly a decade and was previously the Director of Health Services until 2018. Also, fun fact about her, she is a registered nurse in addition to being a Navy veteran. So thank you for your service, as well as like being a nurse, like that takes, that's just amazing. So just a little house rules throughout the webinar. If you have any questions during the presentation, throughout the presentation, post them in the chat box at the bottom of your screen. At the end of Bevan's presentation, William's gonna lead a Q&A session asking the questions posted. And if we don't get to one of your questions, don't worry. We're gonna follow up with you via email with an answer. Or with a resource on where you can find an answer. So on that note, we're going to be sharing a few links in the chat so you can connect with Bevan via email, phone, or Twitter. I've also included a link to the Workwell's Facebook page so you can, stay up to date on all of our future, events and happenings. Just a quick note, we are recording this session. It's going to be posted to the Workwell's website as well as emailed to you sometime early next week. So with all that being said, I'm going to turn over the presentation to Bevan to get started.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you for having me today. I always love getting connected with business partners and having a chance to talk about all the great things we have to cheer about in Scifire ISD. So I'll get started with my presentation. So I'm going to share my screen with y'all. And I'm going to go through some of the opportunities. This is a really broad overview of things that you can do with Cypress Fairbanks ISD, some ways that you can get connected. There are also detailed opportunities. So as Miranda said, you can email me anytime, you can give me a quick call anytime, and I'm happy to go through something that maybe you need a little bit more details for your business, or you have a really unique offering or something very unique that I don't cover. So of course, if I don't cover something today, I would love to hear from y'all. So a little bit about my team. You heard a little bit about me from Miranda, but I also have Brittany Gutierrez, who is a communications specialist who works in my office, and my assistant, Gabby Pozos. And if you work with our office, you work with all three of us at any point. So we all know all the great opportunities in Scifire, and all of us can help you with different things. And you might even know Gabby or Brittany already, but some opportunities in the district, ways to get connected. We do have some advertising opportunities. We also love our volunteers, and we have lots of great sponsorship opportunities. So several main categories of ways to get connected. This is a brief overview document that just kind of talks about some of the different things we do each month in Scifire ISD. My office handles advertising and overall volunteers and ways to get connected, but then there are also some ways to get connected with campuses individually that you would really need to reach out to a campus for greater detail, but I can always get you connected. I can be a liaison for you. One of our first opportunities, and something that's available all year long, is our publication advertising. So this is an opportunity for you to advertise your business, including a website link on our communication that is delivered electronically to over 150,000 subscribers. You can see that we have two different publications. One is our connection for community, and one is our connection for employees. You can see community in purple, and employees in blue. The community connection is, as I mentioned, about 150,000 subscribers plus our 17,000 district employees. And the blue is just for our 17,000 district employees, so that you can tailor your message. If you have something you want to go out to the whole community, you can do that. But if you really want to target CFISD employees with something, you can also do that. You can see that we have a few different opportunities there, and all the way to the right of that document is an example of what that email looks like. If you're advertising in our Connection for Community, you will receive that via email. And if you're advertising through our employees, that only goes out to our employees, but we can give you screenshots of that if that's something you want to do. You can see that we do those monthly, and we have all of the ad deadlines and publish dates near the bottom as well. So if you have any interest in that, it's a great opportunity to get connected. Lots of businesses also want to provide our employees with discounts. So we do have a really affordable option for businesses to advertise an employee discount. This would go up in July of the year, July 1, that starts CFISD's fiscal year, and it would stay up all the way through August unless you asked us to take it down earlier. This is also an opportunity for you to provide a link, and this is direct traffic to your website. So one of the questions that I think our business partners ask a lot of times is, how do I know how many people are clicking on that ad? You can set this up with your Google Analytics, that you can monitor everything that's being directed to your website from our links. So you can kind of check and see who we're directing. We have these employee discounts listed on our intranet, so they're not visible to our community. They're only visible to our employees. And we also, in the publications that I talked to you about earlier, we also have a link in each of those publications directing our employees to the discount website. So we have several different ways that we're advertising these discounts to our employees. Another opportunity is stadium advertising. So we are really excited to start CFISD football here September 24th, just around the corner. So just next week, we will be starting football. Definitely our stadium is going to look and feel a little bit different this year. We are practicing social distancing, so our stadium capacity will be reduced this year. We also needed more room for our students to be able to space out, so our bands and drill teams, while they're in the stands, so that they can have adequate spacing. We've really spaced them out quite a bit, but we do still have options for any advertiser in our games. You can see that we have some game day options that are listed there on the left side of that document, all in blue, and those can be purchased a la carte. You can purchase whatever looks good to your business, and we sell all of those advertising options by game. So if you have interest in this, you can email me and we can definitely walk through it in greater detail, but you will choose the specific game that you want to show a 30-second commercial. We also have instant replays, which are just what you think they are if you're a sports fan, where we have a great play and it will be bookended by your logo. So for example, it could be the Work Well sponsors this instant replay, and then we see that great catch or that great touchdown, and then we show the Work Well logo once more on the other end of that great instant replay. Those are offered by quarter, so there's lots of versatility there. And then scoreboard message is probably the most affordable way to get a message out, and you also select this by game. So if your business is located near the Bridgeland-Cy Ranch area, that's probably a game you would want to target to be able to get customers from that general area. If your business is further down near Jersey Village, you can look just for Jersey Village football game opportunities so that you can kind of target the audience you want at our stadium. If you're interested in advertising all season long, we have those season options for you all the way on the right in the gold and the purple. And those are logos that will be shown at every CFISD football game, including the preseason and postseason. So it's all season long. We have 64 regular season games every season, but then we have a little bit of preseason, and then if we make it to playoffs, that's just extra airtime that you get on those season options. So we do have game day promotions this year. We typically have 4 opportunities at every game. This year we'll only have 1 due to spacing. So the game day promotion options are a little bit slimmer than usual, but they are still available. And our games are also streamed live on a streaming service called Texan Live. So on Texan Live, we will be panning to our scoreboard for all of our commercials and all of our scoreboard messaging during all timeouts and halftime. So there's still that opportunity, even though there's a few less spectators in the stands. Anything that you purchase on the scoreboard is also going to show up on that live stream. And we're definitely offering live streaming options to parents and spectators since we do have limited stadium capacity. We also have bus advertising. I'm sure if y'all live in Scifire, you've seen a bus roll by or two that has an advertisement right on the side of the bus. This is basically a moving billboard. So you design the art for this. It's a 6 foot by 2.5 foot ad. We take care of all of the printing. They're printed on high quality durable vinyl. They are on the side of the bus. For the plan you select, you can see we have some different options there if you want a short-term ad or if you would like something longer. We do guarantee the vinyl for the duration of your contract, and we inspect those twice annually to make sure that they haven't become sun faded or cracked. We want to keep your ad looking good while it's on the side of a CFISD bus. These are also something you can target by location. So you'll choose the route with me. We'll set up an opportunity to collaborate. You decide what area of the community you'd like your ad to roll through, and we help you get you connected to that specific bus route. So our buses run on a tiered structure. So we have an high school pickup first in the morning and then a drop off. And then the same bus goes to a middle school community, picks up and drops off. And then that same bus goes to an elementary community, picks up and drops off. So there's 3 different pickup and drop offs in the morning. And then in the afternoon, they run those same routes in reverse. So you've got 6 different routes. It's a lot of road time. And even though we have fewer students in the classroom right now, we're rolling as many buses because we've really distanced our students out on the buses. So all of our buses are still hitting the roads, and we still have some opportunities for bus advertising for any of you who may be interested in that chance to get connected. We also have incentives. So some of our business partners want to be able to give either staff or students a free coupon of some sort, and we love to get those. It's a great opportunity for a business partner to get in front of the community, but also provides a great incentive for our students or staff. So you can see some of the things that we would accept. We do ask that these are actual incentives. We get this one a lot for tutoring or that kind of academic stuff for students, and we want this to be something that students are going to be excited about getting. So parents may love to get the tutoring, but these are often used for kids at report card time and other times like that. So we really want this to be something students or staff are going to be excited about. So we do ask you to submit anything to us prior to print so that we can be sure the language is all acceptable. We don't want you to go to print and then we can't approve the coupon. So prior to print, we ask to see it, and then you just bundle those up for the campus and get those to us, and we will distribute those at all of the schools. And if you have interest in that, we also provide you with our student and staff counts. The last time we did this one was the summer, where we will be doing another count at the end of September to give you updated info on student attendance. So you can see that these attendance numbers are much lower than what we typically have at our schools, and we update this every couple of months to make sure that you know how many coupons you would print depending on which schools or facilities you're sending incentives to. So this is a great opportunity for our business partners. That covers all of our advertising opportunities. We did talk a little bit about volunteering, and I'll explain a volunteer process with you, but just to get us started, we have decided to limit volunteer opportunities on campuses for at least the first semester of this school year. Our principals are really adjusting to the space it takes to spread our kids out and to make sure that all of our staff and students are kept really safe. And so because of that, we will welcome volunteers back a little bit later, just to make sure that we have the space for everybody in our campuses. Once we do that, we will welcome volunteers back. And you can be a global volunteer, which means you can volunteer at any one of CFISD campuses, even if you're not a parent or grandparent. We have a link on our website, which you can see at the bottom of this slide, where you would go and apply to be a global volunteer. You can send to a criminal history background check, and once all those pieces come back, we will set you up to be an approved CFISD volunteer. We also send emails periodically to our global volunteers about different volunteer opportunities that there are in the district. There are countless things you can do in CFISD in any given year. As I mentioned, hopefully second semester, or maybe even a little bit later if we really need to be safe in Scifire, we will give these opportunities back to volunteers. Mentoring is another volunteer program. It's much like the global opportunity. It just requires an additional education component. So the process looks exactly the same. You follow the same links. And then once you've completed your application, we provide you with mentor training, and you can mentor at any of our CFISD campuses. This one's a lot more unique, and there's a few more moving parts to get you connected. But if you have an interest in that, next semester, we'll open those applications again and start training again. This is my favorite volunteer opportunity. It's so great to get connected to an individual student and really have that chance to influence a student's life in such a positive way. So this is my favorite volunteer opportunity. Another opportunity for our business partners is the potential to adopt a school. This is a bigger commitment. We ask our Adopt a School partnerships to be prepared to make a commitment for about 3 to 5 years. This is getting set up with an individual campus and just finding really creative and unique ways to invest in that school. So things can be maybe staff appreciation might be things an adoptive partner might do. They may do school supply drives for students at the start of the year. They might do pies for teachers at Thanksgiving. They might also do school supply drives for students around holidays, Christmas, coats, those kinds of things. They might volunteer at the school as mentors, maybe volunteer in the school garden, volunteer to read books. There's loads of ways that our Adopt School partners really connect with those campuses. It's a unique partnership. If you have interest in this, you can definitely email me and I can work with you to find the campus that you would want to get connected with. So this is a really fun opportunity for a business partner who have a lot of employees and really want to find a way to get connected. We also have sponsorship opportunities, and we do have district level sponsorships, and this is another place where you could also connect with the campus. There are campus level opportunities to sponsor, especially with PTOs and booster clubs, and those look a little bit different. But we have an event coming up October the 10th in CFISD. For now, this is planned to be an in-person event. We're monitoring everything that's happening in the community and could shift to a virtual event. But contact for this is Leslie Martone, our chamber president. If you have some interest in the Health Expo, you can reach out to her and find out what those opportunities are. We also have the Superintendent's Fun Run, which is one of our annual opportunities. So fun, really great community event. Every school participates at this event, and we almost always sell out of our vendor booths for this one. And we will have as many as 85 or 90 vendor booths. And every year I feel like we have to add more to get the community connected. So this is a favorite in our community. This is Dr. Henry's opportunity to raise funds for the Scifire Educational Foundation. We do that through sponsorships, as you can see listed here, but also through event participation. We have challenges between the campuses to get registration up, and so that we can donate to the Scifire Educational Foundation. And we've really been excited over the last 3 years. We've been able to donate $100,000 or greater to the Scifire Educational Foundation out of this event. So this is a really exciting one for us, and one that's really near and dear to our hearts. We don't yet have a plan for Superintendent Fun Run about whether or not that would be an in-person opportunity this year. It's not until March, so we will wait and see how things look when we get closer to the date. The same is true for our Volunteer and Public Schools Appreciation event. This is our opportunity to give back to all of our volunteers. This is a really fun luncheon, loads of student performances, high energy, another great chance to get connected, and you can see what some of those sponsor give backs are if you would like to participate in that event. So it's also a lot of fun. This one is mid-April, and so we haven't made a decision about that yet either. For any of you who want to be on our business partner mailing list, I can add you with just an email, so I'm sure William can facilitate that for us after this meeting, but I will send out information about these events as we get closer through our business partner meeting. And then lastly, I just wanted to take a minute to thank you all for supporting Cypress Fairbanks ISD. For those of you who know Dr. Henry, he gives us a message every year and kind of something that unites the district, a message that we keep throughout the whole district. And this year, he's asked us to really focus on having hope and optimism. So H2O is our symbol of the year. We're hoping that we approach this year with hope and optimism, obviously with reality, because we're all dealing with some unique challenges and facing some new opportunities in 2020. But we are always so grateful for the investment our business partners have in Cypress Fairbanks ISD. We've been receiving donations from business partners even as they may be struggling themselves, but we know how much the school district means to the community, and we just couldn't be more grateful for all of the great support we get from our business partners. We're hopeful for you, we're optimistic for you, and we just really appreciate you investing in us. So that covers the broad strokes of what we offer in Scifire ISD, but I would definitely take any questions from y'all.
All right, thanks, Bev. And so this is William. I'm going to help moderate the Q&A part of our presentation today. Thanks for sharing all those sponsorship and volunteer opportunities. I don't think, unless you've really been involved with the school district in the past, that you realize just how wide a range of opportunities there are to really truly be engaged with the school district. So thank you for sharing that. And we actually will have some questions related to some specific partnerships and some other things. But before we get started, I'd just like to kind of maybe touch upon what you just discussed with the hope and the change and everything that's been happening with the school district since basically, I guess, March. You know, how has the first week of school, how has that gone in terms of just from a logistical standpoint, and then from how you're seeing the community rally around the school district?
Yeah, great. We've had an awesome first week. Obviously, we did as much planning as we could in advance. We had great committees working over the summer, getting us ready for coming back. We're learning still, and you know, we're adapting as new situations arise, and we'll continue to do that. We did that for years prior to COVID. We'll keep doing that into the future. So we've had a great first week. We even have quite a list growing of parents who really want to bring their kids back to CFISD already too. So we gave parents the option of using CFISD Connect, our virtual learning platform, or coming back to school in person. And parents made that choice in summer, excuse me. And we already have parents now who are saying, okay, how can I switch from CFISD Connect and get back in the classroom? So we're optimistic for sure, and think that that's a really good indicator that things are going really well for us. Excellent.
I'm very happy to hear that. So talking about the option right now of being both in person as well as the distance remote learning through the connection, that kind of leads into my first question. Has there been any new technologies and services that the district has introduced specifically to help navigate through COVID-19 that has provided possibly any partnership or sponsor opportunities that are related to those specific services?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, obviously a lot of those decisions have been made coming into the school year. Those partnerships were really probably available mostly in the summer. We did do a lot of exploration to get to CFISD Connect to decide what was going to be the best product that we could offer to our students to give them a high quality learning opportunity. So there are definitely lots of technology needs. You might also have seen that we made a commitment to go one-to-one with technology devices for our students. So we had a big need for Chromebooks and laptops and hotspots and all those things that we are getting out to campuses. So that's definitely an opportunity. I would say probably what's best for business partners who are listening here, that they could direct their individual questions to me about getting connected, and then I can be that liaison to get them to the right person. We do a lot of our contracts by bid. I do have a how-to that I can provide you, William, that you can get out to event participants for fundraising vendors and vendor opportunities. It's a separate department from mine, but I can definitely get everybody connected.
Okay, that kind of touches upon a little bit of what my next question was. How would vendors be able to do business with Scifire ISD? What's the process? Who's the right person to talk to? Are there any particular requirements, et cetera? I think we're going to share a document in the follow-up that we're going to send to everybody, but can you touch upon some of those questions as well?
For sure, yeah. And the document's the best way because there are a lot of different requirements, and the document will get you connected to the electronic application that we have to submit to become a vendor. And you have to provide all the documents that are listed and some references. And our purchasing department will look at all of those contracts and then approve vendors. We also go out to bid for a lot of our contracts, for all of our large contracts. And so those are opportunities that are set up for you to be able to apply to a bid, but all of that will be in the how-to, and I'll get you to the right people through the how-to. Again, if you have a specific question about something, you can also email me and I can get you connected.
Terrific, terrific. So with everything going on with COVID and just, every year you have changing needs, requirements, and services and programs that are offered. How would a business owner or somebody that's in the community go about maybe bringing the idea of a new service or something that is not currently offered to the school district, possibly even something that you guys aren't even bidding out or have never bid out in the past? How would they go about doing that?
Yeah, I would say I'm a good place to start. I don't always have all the answers for questions like that, but I can definitely get a business partner connected. So depending on what that offering is, I can get them to the appropriate department leader or department director to get an answer to their question.
All right, perfect. Are there any partnerships or sponsorships that the district currently has sort of the most urgent need for right now?
So most urgent needs, honestly, we did a lot of that kind of discovery over the summer. So I can't think of anything off the top of my head that we just have an urgent need for at the moment, but I can definitely answer any of those individual questions that might come from a business partner for sure.
Okay, very good. So I have a question. If you're advertising to your employee only database, I guess that's the 17,000 employee and associate partners of the school district, do you think that that is the best way to advertise a B2B service to the district?
Yes, so that's our go-to for getting things out to our school district. Another way that businesses can reach some of our schools too is via social media. So all of our campuses have Facebook pages. Most of us are on Twitter, so that's another opportunity, but I definitely would say the employee publication is probably the best one.
Okay, and so as sort of a follow-up question to that, somebody has asked if there's an ability for us, or I guess businesses, to sign up for the Employee Connection newsletter, or is that just for Scifire ISD employees?
Right, that one is reserved just for CFISD employees. If you decide to advertise in that publication, we will send you a screenshot of your ad inside that publication, but the publication itself is only circulated to employees. The Connection for Community, though, as long as you're on our business partner list, you'll receive that one.
Okay, and those publications are provided electronically as well as through a print, or is it just electronic?
Just electronic, yep.
All right, very good.
Mhm.
Let's see, questions are coming in here. What specific type of partnership or sponsorship do you feel seems to provide the most overall exposure for a business?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, each of our events is so unique, and it really depends on the audience that you want. So, for example, I think stadium advertising can be a great venue if you're looking for a specific group where you can identify down to a campus. As I mentioned, you can do a specific school, advertising to a specific school. Bus advertising is another great opportunity. It's always on the road and you can kind of target that neighborhood. But we find great connections at the fun run, and the in-person vendor opportunities are also other great connections. So I think it depends on the audience you're seeking. And usually what I will do with a business partner who has an interest like that is I get to know them and what their product or service is. And then I have a better idea of how I connect them to the opportunities that are available. So I think it's a very individualized thing, and I'm always happy to work through those with business partners to figure out, okay, what's the product or service you have and how can I best connect you?
Excellent. So, so talking about the football opportunities. Well, I know you mentioned football, and I know, having participated in the past with the Educational Foundation, that there's usually a great basketball tournament that takes place, the Scifire Hoops Invitational. Is that still planned to happen this year? Has the final determination been made on that?
Right. So the UIL has made a determination not to have any tournament play this year. So you're right. Typically, we do have a few different opportunities with the Scifire Educational Foundation, which is not a part of Cypress Fairbanks ISD. They're actually a separate 501c3, but we obviously work in really close partnership and have a great relationship with the CFEF. Their sole mission is providing scholarship for our students and professional development for our teachers. And so we have a really great relationship with them. They do have other offerings. Usually when I hold an in-person business partner meeting, I provide the Scifire Educational Foundation flyers just so you can see a summary of their events throughout the year. They still are hosting the Salute to the Stars Gala, which is our Teacher of the Year luncheon that has been postponed till December. It's typically in October. We've pushed that back to December. And then the CFEF also has Salute to Heroes Gala, which is hosted downtown. And then, as you mentioned, another annual event is the Sci Hoops basketball tournament, which we won't have this year. So there are some other opportunities with Scifire Educational Foundation. And so I can connect you to Marie Holmes, who's their executive director, if that's a group that you'd like to get connected to.
Terrific. I personally have been involved in that particular event for many years, and it really is. It's a really well-run tournament, so I'm looking forward to that back in the calendar next year. I mean, in the quality of the basketball, I just don't think people. I think people still are in football mode when it comes to when the tournament rolls around. There's some great basketball that takes place at that event.
Well, in Texas, you know, everybody loves their football, but you're right. I'm a basketball player too, and I love the Sci Hoops. It's a lot of fun.
So let's talk a little bit more about the football. So I'm at the stadium almost every night because I help cover football for the Chronicle. I've been doing that for many years. And so I see the business ads, and I see the replay ads, and I see the specific commercials typically between intermissions, between quarters and at halftime. And so that is a really great way to get some big exposure to a lot of eyeballs. Obviously, with capacity limitations this year, the stadiums, how did that adjust maybe what you were providing in terms of a fee structure for the different types of ads that you could do during a football game?
Sure. I'm going to put this back up real quick just so y'all can see it. And so you're right, there's definitely a reduced stadium capacity. But what we are doing in turn for that is making sure that we show the scoreboard messages, commercials and pan to the scoreboard during all timeouts, all breaks, to keep the scoreboard on that live stream feed. So we know that the live stream opportunity is going to be a much more widely used option this year for a lot of our parents and for a lot of our community. So we know that that subscribership is going to change. We don't have numbers yet because typically they're in the stadium. So we don't know how many people will be on the live stream, but we know that it will be more than it has been in years past. And so we're making sure that we're keeping all of those present on the live stream feed as well. So yeah, like you mentioned, there are different commercial opportunities, and as we move out of regular gameplay and to the live stream option, those commercials will be played there as well. So they won't just be heard and seen in the stadium, they will also be heard and seen on the live stream option.
Very good. And while you get good exposure at all the games, probably the Friday night and especially the Friday night homecoming games tend to be more heavily attended. Would you not agree?
Oh, absolutely. And Friday night games, typically UIL restricts our permissions to put those on live stream. But because of this year's unique circumstance, UIL has allowed us to live stream Friday night games in addition to those Thursday and Saturday games that we have. So we're really glad that we have an opportunity for all of the spectators who aren't going to be able to be in the stands to still watch CFISD football, to still get engaged, to stay connected, and to give our advertisers that extra layer of exposure through the live stream option. So yeah, we're just excited. I cannot wait for next week to have some CFISD football.
I think everybody can say a big amen to that.
Yeah.
And I will say this just from a personal perspective, the Texan Live broadcast incorporates the stadium video feeds and some other special things that are just related to what the Texans Live provide. They're really well done. They're really well done game casts. And so the fact that, and I think they're continuing to grow their subscription and their viewer base. And so the people that are both on site in the stadium, as well as the growing number of people that are engaged with Texans Live, that's some pretty good exposure there.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I think we really anticipate that the Texan Live group is going to get much bigger this year because of the current circumstance. So that's a good opportunity just to grow that partnership and for our advertisers to get that additional exposure.
All right, terrific. You touched upon the employee discount options, and one of our guests is asking, do the employees typically make use of the CFISD employee discounts? Is it a go-to place to look for services or products for your employee base?
Yes, I definitely say it is. And the reason that we can check those analytics for that as well on our end for how often our employees visit that page. And we have about a 32% click-through rate on employee discounts, which is a pretty good number. I know it sounds kind of low if you're not in the industry, but that's a very high click-through rate. So we know that our employees are going there. And as I mentioned, we do what we can to direct employees to that page as well. Every employee publication that we send out has a banner ad for employee discounts to direct employees there. And then I also didn't mention, but on our intranet, we have a rotating banner at the top, and we feature employee discounts there, 2 employee discounts there each month. So and we do that at least twice a year. So at least twice a year, you get a little extra exposure by being in the banner part of our intranet, our employees only website.
Okay, excellent. You may have touched upon this, and if you did, I apologize for asking again, but is there any kind of like exclusivity if you are offering a service in the employee communication piece? Is there any way to say, hey, I want to be the only bookkeeper, I want to be the only CPA, I want to be the only massage therapist that has an ad, or will you have multiple companies in the same industry providing ads if they are signing up?
Yeah, you could definitely have multiple industries in the same publication and at football games. we keep those opportunities open to all of our business partners, and we never offer exclusivity to any business partner. So.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I appreciate you clearing that up.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about volunteering. We would talk about sponsorships and partnerships. You know, are corporate volunteer programs managed differently from like maybe just being an individual volunteer? And if you're doing a corporate, or you engage in a corporate volunteer program, what's the best way for a business to leverage being active in that volunteer program to generate exposure, you know, for them in the business?
Yeah, great. That's a good question. So I'm going to share this again one more time. This isn't the only way that a corporate group might get exposure, but this is probably the one I see the most frequently, that when a big company decides that they really want to invest in the district, they'll typically go the adopt a school route. This allows them to have a really tailored relationship with a campus and to really foster and grow a very specific relationship. We find that business partners who really want to invest for multiple years enjoy this relationship because they learn what the campus needs are. They're very closely connected to a liaison on the campus. It's typically a principal or a principal secretary or another administrator, and they get to know each other so well that they know they can anticipate what the campus needs are. They host even annual events, annual drives. So this is probably most frequently the way those relationships work. But I also facilitate some corporate sponsorships that they just really want to do this one thing. And they don't know what school they want to do it for, but they kind of have an idea about the demographic they're looking for. So maybe they're looking for a high economically disadvantaged campus that they really want to support with bicycles or school supplies. And so I'll take those requests individually and do some matching, give them some options. Hey, I have these specific schools that I think really are what you're looking for, and how does this sound? And then I'll connect that single opportunity to a campus. So there's a couple of different ways. It can be something that's a little bit more long-term commitment and a real unique relationship, or if it's just a single opportunity the business partner wants to have, I can also help connect that for them.
Excellent. Well, there's a lot of opportunities. How many total schools are there in the district at this time?
So we have 92 schools.
And how is that broken down with regards to the levels of school?
We have 12 high schools, we have 19 middle schools, and we have 56 elementary schools. We just opened our newest middle school this year, Harold Rowe Elementary, near Cy Park. So, and then we have a few special campuses as well.
That translates to about 130,000 students. Is that correct? Or is it even more than that now?
A little less. We have 118,000. It's a little less even than that right now, but that's our typical enrollment.
So when you add the number of students that are on campus, along with the 17,000 employees, you said, you know, around roughly 150,000, you know, people are directly impacted on a day-to-day basis with the school district. You know, so I would argue that obviously from regards to a footprint in Northwest Houston, that the district is the largest driver of employment and services to the community as a whole. So there's a great opportunity to partner and to be involved with that. With that being said, and with you being so close with everybody's and all the campus's needs, are there any specific industries or target businesses that you feel like, you know, you've been told there's maybe a void that could be filled, that you're looking to provide some services that the district needs at this time?
That's a really good question. You know, probably kind of a moving target, right? So at this time, what our primary focus has been to get the school year started is always school supplies. So always in September, well, really even before that, in August, July, August, September, that's typically something we're trying to get connected right away. This year for business partners, we had a whole different set of needs. So we needed hand sanitizer, we needed signage for all of the different one-way classrooms, and for our cafeteria seats to provide adequate spacing. We bought desk shields. So I think each year that's probably something a little bit different and unique. And that's where monitoring our bid website, which will be in the document I'll provide you, is something great for business partners to do, because as we have those contracts come up, we're posting them regularly. And that's where we advertise that we're looking for those specific types of business partnerships. So that's really the best place to watch if you have a specific business and you're looking to see what we're looking for.
All right, terrific. Well, we've had quite a few questions so far. I think we're going to have time for maybe one or two more. So I would like to encourage all of our attendees that if you do have any final questions or thoughts that you'd like to share with Bevan and the rest of the group, please share them in the chat room. This may be more of a broad question that you can possibly answer, but I mean, really, what's kind of the bottom line? How do these partnerships benefit my child, both directly and indirectly, that attends a Scifire school?
Yeah. So there's tons of different ways that these partnerships impact our children. I mean, thinking about the volunteer services, I mean, the ripple effect from something like that is hard to even measure. So investing in kids and making sure that they have the things they need at home, but then the mentorship, being able to partner one-on-one with a student, help them identify goals and see those goals through and graduate is a huge impact. Adopt a school partnerships. These are great for our morale at our campus. This helps employees to feel rejuvenated all the time, which also in turn helps their engagement with students. And so it's also one of those that has a tremendous ripple effect. The advertisement and all of those kinds of things are all then invested back in Cypress Fairbanks ISD. We have a volunteer and public school VIPS executive board, and they go out and do some different events and things for our community, which also then, you know, just feed back into that community feel. I hear Dr. Henry talk about our community pretty frequently, and he always says that this is a destination school district. Even though we're a big school district, we're the 22nd largest school district in the nation and the 3rd largest in the state of Texas. We do such a good job of having a small town feel on our campuses. And our business partners all help with that, and all of these programs then roll right back to the campus and creating that place where parents want their children to learn. And I think that's what makes us so unique, is we all of these things and all of these great partnerships, and the great partnership we enjoy with the chamber is really very special for a school district to have a great partnership like that. And it all comes full circle to providing the best possible service, the best possible extracurriculars for kids. We are all about opportunity for all, and every single investment from a business partner just helps make that even greater, just helps us to provide those opportunities for kids.
Wow. Well, speaking about providing opportunities, I just had a last minute kind of note / question from one of our members who says that they have access to some scholarship money and they would like to know how to get in touch with the right person.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can shoot me an email. I'll connect you to Franklin Sampson, who's our Director of Guidance and Counseling. He has a counselor who's responsible for all scholarship opportunities in CFISD and making sure we get those kids connected. That's what it's all about, right? So some of our kids are going to be college and career ready. Some are going to go to technical school. Some might go straight into the workforce, but we're always thinking of what is that next step for them. And we would love to get you connected to our counseling department.
Oh, that's terrific. So we're getting close to the end here. Thank you, Bevan. I really appreciate everything that you shared with us so far. And, you know, just in terms of sharing from a personal perspective, I work for a larger company that is very invested in sponsoring and being part of the growth and the thriving of the school district, because we provide residential and commercial development or a real estate company. And so for our communities, having a vital, thriving, and successful school district is important. It, you know, increases the value of our developments by having a great school district as a major selling point. So for some of our members who are small business owners and that are growing their businesses, I want to make sure that we balance the fact that we're supporting the school district and the students with the return of trying to get some exposure and develop and provide some B2B opportunities for our members. What's the best way to kind of navigate that as sort of a final thought here?
Yeah, again, and thank you. You're absolutely right. Coldwell Companies is an incredible company, really invested in CFISD. One of your senior level executives is the president of our Scifire Educational Foundation, and so super involved in CFISD, and we couldn't be more grateful. So I definitely think that each opportunity is unique and needs to get really matched to the business partner, because we do want to make sure that when you're supporting us that we're giving you great recognition for that and making sure that we're saying thank you and getting our business partners connected to our schools. So it's really an individual question that I would really like to connect to each individual business partner to make sure I'm getting them right where they need to be.
Terrific. And one way that we're going to do that is we are going to follow up with our attendees with an email that's going to have a link to this webinar, as well as contact information, your how to engage, and the business partner help sheet that you were talking about is also going to be included, and we will get the information and the contact info from our attendees and make sure that there's any opportunities like the scholarship question that we got posted, that you guys are making that connection and are able to explore those opportunities fully. So I think it's 12:52. We have time for one final question if anybody from the attendees would like to hop in the chat right now. Bevan, do you have any last thoughts or comments you'd like to share with the group?
Yeah, just definitely thank you for being here today. Thank you for your interest in connecting with Scifire ISD. We can't do what we do without that investment and support from our business partners. We really love getting connected to you. This is a crazy, unique year for everyone, so we appreciate your grace. We appreciate, giving us that chance to learn as we go with all of the new things that we're experiencing, and we just hope to hear from you. And if I can do anything for you specifically, feel free to reach out to me at any time.
Terrific. Well, as I mentioned earlier, there's probably hasn't been an industry that's had to adapt as much to the changes that have been caused by COVID than our education system. And so when that service affects so many children and families and the community as a whole, you don't realize that there are so many opportunities to support the school district on both a personal as well as a professional and a business level. So, and no other organization touches as many lives in Northwest Houston as CFISD does. So I really appreciate Bevan taking the time to share how to best engage with the district, and especially maybe sharing some of the changes from how that looks now compared to how it has looked in the past. I think that I speak for almost everyone when I say that we want CFISD to succeed and thrive. So knowing the best ways to support the district to make that happen, that's really been helpful. And that's going to be a wrap of the lunch today. I do want to turn it back to Miranda for some final thoughts from the Workwell's end. And Bevan, I really appreciate you so much.
Yes, just real quick, I wanted to share a little info on 2 of the Workwell's new programs that we just launched last week. We have our back to school discount and our hybrid membership. And I'm just gonna go over real quick what those are. So our hybrid membership provides our customers the ability to return to that professional office setting in a productive work environment that's close to your home a few days a week. So the membership features all the open workspace benefits, which include the 24/7 access, concierge services, access to conference rooms, and of course the high-speed internet, plus the 2 to 3 days a week to work in one of our fully furnished private offices. And then our back to school discount offers 50% off of our co-working memberships and hourly conference room rates. We definitely recognize that there's many students and educators and tutors and new homeschooling parents that are facing the new challenges that all of this has created. And we wanted to, create a membership or a discount and a space for you guys with reliable and fast internet, access to the commercial scanner and printer, productive and distraction-free workspace, and of course, all of the craft coffee to keep you guys going, and hot tea if that's your vibe. So if you have any questions on either of those services, please reach out to us. You can find all the contact info in the chat box, and then I'll flip it back over to William to kind of say the thanks. And I appreciate you all for joining us today, and Bevan for all of your insight and opportunities for these small businesses.
Thanks, Miranda. That's going to wrap up today's virtual lunch and learn. As just a quick reminder, if you joined late or you haven't already looked in the chat box, I have reposted the links in the chat for Bevan's contact information, as well as how to best stay in touch with the work well and follow our events and everything that we have upcoming. You can click on the little icon file or the file icon in the chat box to save the info that we've shared today. And this contact info is also going to be sent out in an email that we will provide with the recording. So thanks again to Bevan, and for everybody who has joined us today. We look forward to seeing you at our next event, and we hope you have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much.